with you. And it'll be your own people, your own friends, your own family. Hello, welcome back to my channel, y'all. Today's video, we are going to get into all the tips you need to know before you go onto a girls trip. To make it successful, I've broken it down into 5 steps that I promise you, if you follow these steps, you will have a great, wonderful girls trip. For those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Patty. Here you're gonna find a host of travel tips, travel products. We got some girl talk, some cozy conversations, and a splash of decor. So we're gonna hop into it, all right? Tip number 1, we're gonna jump right into it, baby. We gotta talk about money, the coins, the dough, the bread. We gotta talk about it. So y'all all know how it goes. Everybody's like, oh yeah, I wanna go on a trip. Yeah, I wanna go on a trip. You know, this or that. But when it comes to that money, people start acting funny. So one of the ways that I avoid all those types of issues is once everybody says that they wanna go on a girls trip, let's talk about money, okay? What is the max amount that everybody would like to spend on lodging? All right, let's start there. And then once it is time for the money to be due, I make sure that in that message, that group chat, whatever it is that how y'all are communicating, that once you put up your money for the combined lodging, it is non-refundable. Hate to be that way, but it is what it is, y'all. People will play with you. And it'll be your own people, your own friends, your own family. And it is honestly disrespectful. You are wasting people's time and efforts to coordinate a trip. And then you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go. And then you bail out. So once you put up that bread, other people shouldn't then have to come out their pocket more because somebody else decided that they can no longer go. Now, if the rest of the group wanna, flip out that money to you, that's fine. I'm not doing that. Unless there was a dire emergency, you had somebody in your family that passed away, God forbid, we're not doing that. And once you start doing that, people get comfortable, boundaries. Once the bread is paid, that's it. You don't go, but we're not doing that. That will save you a lot of headache. And even if somebody else is planning a trip and you're going on that trip, I will go ahead and add that to the message and just be like, is everyone in agreement? Because it's cool when one person back out and you're like, all right, I gotta put up just a little bit. But when 2, 3, 4 people start backing out, that's running up the bill for lodging for everybody else. And that's just, we're not gonna do that. We're not. Also, when it comes to money, knowing your friends, I'm not saying clock their spending, but if you've ever gone out to eat with people and y'all come to the bill, if one person pays it and they're taking days to pay you back, if you ever loan them money and they've never given it back to you on time, don't go on a trip with those people. Just don't. You do not have to go on a girls trip with everybody. You don't have to go on trips with people to be friends. Save yourself the heartache. And that is a great segue into tip number 2. Know your friends, y'all. I would not recommend going on trips with a lot of people that you don't know. It's okay if you're going for somebody's birthday, but you need to have at least one buddy and know your friends. For example, I'm gonna speak on myself. I get hangry. I am not a person that can eat a lot at one time. So I do smaller meals, which means I need to eat more frequently. And some people aren't that way. Some people skip breakfast. Sometimes people eat one time a day. That's not me. It's not me. It's not me, it's not my ministry, and one of my great friends know this. So when we're going on trips, so we got a trip coming up, I love her so much. She'll hit my phone and be like, hey girl, you wanna go get snacks together? Or she'd be like, what snacks did you pack? Because she already knows, right? And I love that she knows how to communicate that to me without being like, all right, Patty, nobody want to deal with you when your little hangry attitude, so what you finna eat? She just, you got snacks, friend? Now when we stay at places, we look to see, okay, there's a hotel, have a little restaurant. That way if you get hungry, you can go get some coffee, or, you know, is there food around? Things to keep in mind, right? So honestly, just like when you're planning smaller events, you know the person that's always late. You already know. I got some groups of friends and family that when we kick it, or especially for my cousins, I usually do the cousin link up that we have at least once a month. I lie to them about what time it is. I might tell them it's an hour or two ahead of time or what the reservation really is, because I know everybody finna be late. And that's okay when we're talking about a restaurant. That is not okay when we're talking about a trip and we're trying to get on flights and if you have an itinerary. So I have gotten to the point where I know my friends, so I know which group of friends I'm going to the turn up locations to. I know which friends I'm going to a chill environment to. And I know what friends I'm going and we're going to do a whole lot of activities, right? Don't go on a trip where you know there's a lot of things you want to do that you have to be on time for with the friend that's always late. You are going to be upset. You're going to be upset. You're going to have an attitude. And Lord forbid that you actually went ahead and booked your excursions in advance. You're going to be hot. You're going to be hot. And I'm a person that I don't like to rush. It's actually one of my biggest pet peeves. So I do not like running in the airport. Okay? I don't want to get sweaty. I don't want my heart racing. I don't want my blood pressure up when I'm trying to get somewhere. Keep that in mind, y'all. Keep that in mind. Tip number 3. Try a short distance trip. If you have never been on a trip with a group before all together, I would not advise you going straight out the country. Plan a day trip to a winery, you know, go down to I'm in the DMV area, go down to North Carolina, do a weekend at Rock Creek. Go somewhere local so you can kind of get the vibes and kind of learn each other a little more. Because just like it's different when you're living with somebody, it's different going on a trip versus somebody you just are friends with and y'all go out for drinks, okay? It is different. And if all goes well, go ahead and book that international trip, but start local. That's fine. All your trips don't have to be luxurious and have to be far. Just be like, hey girl, y'all want to get a cabin? Y'all want to go down to the beach? Short distance first. And also, if you're on a trip and things get heated, it could not just be you, but other people are getting into it, and you want to remove yourself from the situation, it's cheaper to get a flight from Atlanta back to DC than being halfway across the world and you trying to distance yourself from what's going on. Keep that in mind. Also keep that in mind with going back to money, the first tip. So you have an emergency fund, because y'all, things happen on trips. Things happen. I mean, your flight could get canceled. You might end up having to book a hotel somewhere. You need that emergency fund so that if you need to escape, you can. If an emergency happens, you got the coins, okay? Tip number 4, know what kind of things you're into on this trip. Is the goal of this trip to relax? Are we just gonna chill out, take it day by day? Are we going on a birthday celebration and we're going to do a lot of activities? Is this a lit trip where we about to be turning up, drinking, all that type of stuff? Know that ahead of time. Do not wait until the night before y'all going somewhere or when you get to the trip. First of all, how you gonna know what to pack? Have an itinerary. It doesn't have to be, okay, we're doing this at 9 o'clock and then 11 o'clock. But know what type of trip this is. That also helps you to decide who you want to go to where. Who you want to bring on this trip, if we're doing this type of activities. Have an idea. Just have an idea. It helps a lot. Alright, we made it to the final tip number 5, and that is learn how to pivot, friend. This is not just for going on girls' trips, it's a life tip, okay? Honestly, I say this a lot. I think almost all of my friends have probably heard me say it. It is one of the things that helps me to stay sane, y'all. Life be lifing, and you have to learn how to roll with the punches. It's okay to be upset for a moment, but do not let petty stuff take up the whole day, blow your whole mood, okay? Don't go on trips with people that don't know how to easily adjust. Things happen. Things happen. Sometimes flight gets canceled. Sometimes things might not come on time. Y'all, things happen, and if you don't have the ability to be able to easily adjust, it is not going to be a fun trip. It's just not. That's life. Everything does not go according to plan. So if you want to have a good trip, you have to be able to learn how to pivot. And if somebody says something you don't like, calm down. Okay? You don't got to go straight to 10. Walk it off. Bring it back down to 1. If you need to address it in that moment, address it in that moment. You need to walk away for a second, walk away for a second. But be able to pivot, y'all. If you can do those things, you will have an amazing trip. It'll be so fun. So much fun. So much fun. It's really not that hard. And even though those were only 5 steps, y'all, only 5 ways, listen, I have been on numerous girls trips, okay? Last year I went on 9, okay? So when I tell you I know, baby, I know. I hope these tips were helpful. Please comment below what was your favorite tip, y'all, because I want to know. If there's something I left out that you feel like I should have mentioned, leave it down below and maybe we'll do a part 2. All right, y'all. Bye.